Welcome everybody to the Town of Kent Planning Board meeting for December. Could we all please rise for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, just a couple of things before we get started. I wanted to officially welcome Jean Monet to the full board.
Thank you.
And also, before I forget, because it'll happen later on, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Likewise.
So, the first thing is the minutes from last month. There's one in particular, we just need to change the motion, the first motion. It says Mr. Carey. I was actually absent last month.
That would be me.
So I need somebody to accept it with the amendment.
I accept it with the amendment.
And who
Make
seconds it?
a
Second.
motion. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first up is Beerwood Williams property.
Hello, everyone. James Hartford from River Architects. Good to see you all. It's very festive looking in here. My client owns the property 127 Sagamore Drive, and it's an existing house originally built in about 1940. It's been added on to, and our plan is to replace the house pretty much on the same footprint with a new house that is highly energy efficient, that will not have any fossil fuels, that obviously puts risk to the lake. And so we will be, our design is to pull the house away from the lake further so that we're outside of the 100-foot wetlands buffer, and to create a new home for them that is clean and energy efficient. I'll walk through the design here. So you can see it's on the east bank, kind of looking through past this island here. It's quite a nice site. Sorry, I usually have someone else on the other side helping me flipping. So here you can see the property here. The existing house, oh, thank you, is the here in green. This black dashed line is the 100-foot buffer zone. So you can see how the house currently is about 50% into the wetlands buffer zone. There's sort of a ridge about here. It's like the grade slopes towards the lake here and then kind of breaks and slopes back towards the property line there. So the goal is to actually relocate the house so that we're pretty much outside of the buffer zone there. Thank you. So again, here's the dashed green that shows the existing footprint of the house, and the orange that shows the proposed new footprint of the house. And so some of the original foundations will be broken in and backfilled. We're going to keep a cistern in the area to gather rainwater for site irrigation, and currently, there's a patio that also extends even further beyond. We just request that we put a patio and a screen porch that would be in that buffer zone. Thanks. Thank you. I should have noted that the side yard, front yard, rear yard setbacks, lot area coverage, all of that we're conforming to. And one issue, you're probably aware that we're in front of the zoning board currently. The lot is non-conforming. It's pre-existing non-conforming in terms of size. and that's the only nonconformance that we're looking at. We anticipate to have zoning board approval. The county has reviewed the driveway existing conditions. We're not changing the driveway, but the county has reviewed that. They have approved the application. So we anticipate Monday that we should get zoning board approval. And this is just showing the walkout basement, which is exactly where the entrance is going to be from Sagamore over here. And so essentially the ground floor is sort of half into the hillside because that ridge that I mentioned earlier, the grade is considerably higher on this side and then falls away to kind of zero over there. Thanks. And then on the lake side, you can see we've got the ability to have at-grade access on the lake side, so patio, screen and porch, and that's the extent of our intrusion into the wetlands buffer. Otherwise, the existing house is way out over here. Thanks. And just a sample board of the finishes that we're looking at, natural, something that blends in to the landscape, so nothing that really glares and visually, so it's kind of a good neighbor to the other houses there. Thanks. Here's a rendering from the street side. So native stone base at the kind of that walkout basement, steps going around the side there, vertical wood siding here, and a darker version of it there. Thanks. And then from the lake side, it's just a two-story building, low flat roof, so very conforms to the overall height. Thanks. And that's it. I also have the SWIP drawings from the civil engineer. If you'd like, I could, if you have any questions on that, I can pull that out. It's not really my area to speak about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. For the record, John Andrews, engineer to the Planning Board. As Mr. Hartford indicated, the ZBA did not act. They didn't act because they hadn't heard from the county. They have received the county referral, so both Bruce and I anticipate that the Zoning Board of Appeals will take their action on their next regularly scheduled meeting, which would mean that you would be in a position to act on this. Right now, you adjourned the public hearing till this evening. So what you need to do is open the public hearing and then immediately adjourn it to the January 9th, 2025 meeting, pending receipt of the Zoning Board of Appeals decision on the variance. And there's nothing else you can do. You've already empowered Bruce and I, so long as the ZBA grants the necessary variances, we've been empowered to craft a resolution of approval for your consideration at next meeting, which you would again open, see if there's any public comment based on the variances, and close it next week, and then you'd be in a position to open to adopt approvals on this matter.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing for the said property.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to adjourn the public hearing until January 9th, 2025 meeting, pending the Zoning Board of Appeals decision on the variance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, Jamie, Morrow Equipment.
That's just for show. I'm not going to flip through all that. Jamie LaJudas from Inside Engineering, Serving in Landscape Architecture, on behalf of the applicant Morrow Equipment. So we've gone through a long road. We have our negative declaration from your board the last meeting. We received our variances. And I believe at this point, we've received the 2 consultant memos, which we'll be addressing and providing more information pertaining to those memos in the next submission. And I believe we're looking for a public hearing to be scheduled.
Also, there's a waiver as well.
Good evening, John Andrews again. As Jamie indicated, she correctly identified the status. You do have memos from Bruce and I. The first item that kind of jumps out, I think it's the applicant did request a waiver to submit a tree plan. We discussed that at the workshop. So we would seek a simple resolution, oral, to waive that requirement. Requires a motion, a second, and just a voice vote, please.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to grant a waiver for a requirement to submit a tree plan for the Morrow Equipment project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. You are in a position, if you read Bruce's in my memos, with the neg deck, they jumped the highest hurdle. Now it's dotting the i's, crossing the t's, and getting the necessary permits and approvals from other involved agencies, which is the heavy lift on this project. So I'll leave that to Jamie. However, you are in a position to set the public hearing for the January meeting. As far as Bruce and I are concerned, there are no substantive issues that remain to be resolved. They're mostly the final details. So it would be our recommendation, that of Bruce Barber and myself, that the planning board consider a resolution to conduct a public hearing at the January 9th meeting. And again, it's a simple oral resolution, motion, second, and vote.
Okay, I'd like to make a resolution to move to hold the public hearing for the site plan and erosion control permit for January 9th, 2025 meeting. And this is from Morrow Equipment on Route 52 in Kent. I'd like to make that motion. Who would like to second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there is nothing more you can do this evening, and we'll see them in January for a public hearing.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next.
John, do we need to
Sorry.
ask you all to prepare a resolution for that?
You could. It might be a little premature, but
Okay.
it's up to you folks. If you wish, we can do that.
No, I'd like to wait for the public hearing
Okay,
Okay.
understood.
because, there's that piece of property has a bit of history.
Yep.
So-
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun.
No, it's all right. It's fine. Everybody's. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Next is Rapoli property.
Seeing there's no one here, I'm going to take the next probably 3, if you don't mind. Rapoli, that's an erosion control plan. We did have some discussions at the last meeting. Paul Lynch had made a submittal. You have memos from Bruce and myself. I believe, Vera, I did circulate to Rich Othmer to get his opinion. I don't know whether Paul has submitted to the fire district, but then one of the major items is you're going to need a driveway waiver. But other than that, it's again, there's no substantive issues. So again, Bruce and I would recommend, if the board is up to it, to conduct a public hearing at your January meeting. Again, it's a simple oral resolution, motion, second, and vote, please.
Okay, who would like to make the motion to hold a public hearing on the erosion control permit for January 9th on 2025 for Rapoli in Smalley's Corner?
I'll move.
Who seconds?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The next one is 24 Saul Drive. That's Guy Lazaka. I did have a memo. We had some discussions with Mr. Lynch. He's made a resubmission, Vera. I think he wants to be for January, so he's continuing to move this along. This is one that came from Bill Walters because it was in violation. Again, Paul has pretty much addressed most of the issues. There's a couple issues he had to go back and rework on the driveway, which he is doing. I also circulated to Rich Othmer, so we're waiting for him. And I know Paul is going to reach out on that one to the fire district as well. Since there's no substantive issues, Bruce and I would again recommend that you move to hold a public hearing on January 9th. And again, it's the same routine. Motion, second, and vote, please.
Would somebody like to make a motion to hold a public hearing on the erosion control permit for our next meeting, which is January 9th, 2025, on the property at 24 Soul Drive in Kent? Who would like to make that motion?
I'll make it.
Who would like to second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're going to have to get extra seats for January. There's so many public
I
hearings.
know.
Yeah.
The only thing I would recommend is you might want to set up the order of the agenda so that you have Morrow last and do the simple ones first. That's
That's a good idea.
That's just me. Lakeside Conference Center, that was they have an order of remedy and notice of violation. We made a site visit. We've actually had a Zoom call with them as well. So they are looking to make a submittal for the January meeting to move this along. They were going to do some stabilization and a few other things, but we expect them to aggressively pursue an application to get the situation resolved. And
Nothing
it's
we
just a
can do
report, nothing for you to do until we get an application, folks. Bliss Day Spa, that's Ms. Vera. Did you prepare a resolution, Vera? Okay. Again, folks, you could probably handle this as a simple oral resolution. The people are looking for the return of unexpended funds. I believe Vera has verified that all bills have been paid, and there is an amount that you can return. I don't know what that amount is, but I think it's
Vera,
100.
do you know offhand?
It was like $1,206, I think.
They owe us?
No, what is it?
This is
Oh, no.
split.
Oh, no, 125, sorry.
Okay.
125 to be returned, or they owe us?
They owe us. Or no, she gets it back.
Okay,
125.
thank you. So it's a simple oral resolution that the board authorizes Vera to release and return the unexpended funds of $125, conditioned upon verification that all fees and charges due and owing the town have been paid. Simple motion, second, and a vote.
Would somebody like to make the motion for the resolution of authorize the return of the unexpended funds conditioned upon the payment, but we know it's all been paid, everything's been paid out of it? So for the amount of $125 going back to Bliss Day Spa.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
We're down below the line.
We're down below the line. Alper, that ball's in their court. We're waiting for a determination. Beresford, I think they're in front of the ZBA as well. They have not yet come back to us. But apparently there was some fireworks at the ZBA regarding this one. But so we shall see what will come back. Cardillo has been taken care of. Chen Yang, we're still waiting on them. Flintlock has been taken care of. They've been signed and everything approved. Holly property, we actually received a submittal, probably an update status submittal from Mr. Lynch that will be on your January agenda. Homeland Towers, I think they're working their way through the conditions of the resolution such that they may conduct their balloon test. We're probably waiting for just some final paperwork and other issues there. Route 52 development is kind of in a limbo. We're waiting for them.
John, just so you know, I got an email from them today, and
Yeah,
they
it-
saw the agenda, they said that they're not ready to, we should take them off, and I just told them that it was just up for status
Right,
report.
and there's nothing to report because the last time you authorized Mr. Arioli to have some conversations with them, I don't know whether he's been successful with that or not, but nothing to report. Cohen, that ball's in their court. We're waiting for Mr. Greenberg to make a resubmission. And I think he's also in front of the ZBA.
Yeah,
And
but
again,
he dropped off stuff today, too.
okay. Metric Motors, Bruce's favorite topic. We're waiting till after the holidays.
After the holidays.
Whatever
After the
that
holidays.
means. Nichols Road, we're waiting on them. Ryder, I believe Ryder is also tied up in the ZBA, so he may be coming back to us, providing the ZBA grants favorably in his, on his request. Torrey's, we're waiting on them. TJ Contracting, the last time we spoke with him, he had reached out and had his engineer, so we're waiting on a submittal from them. And Westfall is a continuing saga that is nearing completion. Mr. Carell has his marching orders and is blissfully moving ahead to complete the project. And we should, it should be ready for chairman's signature any sense from now.
Good.
And having said that, I am done, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, brother. Does anybody in the audience have anything to say? All right, I'd like to make a motion to end the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.